In today's video, we are going to see a summary of the book, The Magic of Thinking Big, by David Schwartz. Undoubtedly, one of the best books I've read, and I think everyone should read it. Although the author's name may not ring a bell, David Schwartz is a big name when it comes to motivational and personal development books. In fact, he is frequently quoted by recognized coaches like Tony Robbins or Jim Rohn, among many others. And this book, The Magic of Thinking Big, I find is the best of all his books. As you will appreciate, it is a book that I have enjoyed a lot because practically on each page we can find valuable knowledge. In the first chapter, believe it, the power that our mind has is much greater than we imagine. And if we believe that we cannot, our mind will work to find reasons why we cannot. On the other hand, if we believe we can, our mind will work to find a way to put it into practice. This is one of the most important points in the book, and I believe it is the basis of the philosophy that David Schwartz shares. Believe. Believe it is possible and you will see how your mind starts to work towards it. Chapter 2. Cure yourself of excusitis. The author tells us that this is the disease of failure, because it is not enough just to believe it. We also have to beat the little things. We have to eliminate all those excuses that we make for others, but that we also make for ourselves. Thoughts, whether positive or negative, are fed and grow stronger with constant repetition. That is why it is so important to be aware of our thoughts and work on them. According to Dr. Schwartz, the four most common forms of excusitis are having health problems, believing you are not smart enough, believing you are too old or too young, and believing you are different or just unlucky. Not only does he identify the types of excusitis, but he also explains how to overcome it in each case. Chapter 3. Create self-confidence and destroy your fears. If we are not self-confident, if we don't believe that we are good enough to succeed, it will be very difficult to convince others that we are. Fears are our worst enemies and paralyze us to the point of missing important opportunities in our lives. No one is born with self-confidence. Self-confidence is formed with character and it is never too late to acquire it. Chapter 4. How to Think Big. Probably the worst defect of the human being is to consider himself less valuable than he really is. This requires a change of mindset, because everything we do has to be in accordance with our vision of the future, our vocabulary, our thoughts. And here he highlights the importance of bringing value to other people and to oneself, and of focusing on the big goals instead of giving importance to the little things of everyday life. Chapter 5. Creative Thinking and Dreaming. This is closely related to the main idea. If we believe we can, our mind will go to work to find a way to achieve it. And that's when our creative thinking kicks in. We are all creative. To a greater or lesser extent, what we have to strive for is to develop the creativity we already have, so that we can make the most of it. The philosophy of, can I do better? Works great. Don't wait for other people to tell you what to do. Ask for opinions and create your own ideas. Draw your own conclusions and don't let it slip into your ideas. Write them down. He tells us to write down our ideas, revise them and shape them. Chapter 6. You are what you think you are. Others see in us what we see in ourselves, and we get the treatment we think we deserve. The messages we constantly convey to ourselves have a great impact on our development. We all talk to ourselves all the time. Yes, you're not crazy. We all do. And it tells us that those words should be motivational and encouraging. They should be positive words. What you say to yourself determines how you act. And how you act determines how others react to you. The author also stresses the importance of looking good. Dressing well is very important. Let the mirror give us back an image of the person we want to be. Why he says that if we dress like an important person, it will make us feel that we are important? Because our outward appearance affects our thoughts. And also, even if we don't like to admit it, at first, we all evaluate others by appearance, consciously or unconsciously. Because before we really know that person, outward appearance is the only data we have to make an analysis of what we can expect from them. That is why our outward appearance is very important. Chapter 7. Manage your environment. Travel first class. Dr. Schwartz tells us that we are a product of our environment. The way we feed our minds determines our habits, our attitudes, and our personality. That is why he tells us that we should seek out the company of people with big ideas. Ambitious people awaken our own ambition and tell us to avoid envy and jealousy. If you smash your neighbor's furniture with an axe, it won't make yours look any better. So let's avoid verbally harming other people. In this chapter, he also tells us about the importance of always putting quality ahead of quantity. Always paying for quality things, from our clothes to our leisure expenses. He says this will develop our positive thinking and make us start to believe that we really deserve it. Chapter 8. Work on your attitudes. The author tells us that we must make our attitudes our allies, generating an attitude of action, of service, and creating enthusiasm. He suggests that we should be bearers of good news and transmit joy to others. We all know that being around whiners and pessimistic people is quite unpleasant. So, let's not be one of those people. Let's transmit vitality and enthusiasm. We must feel important to succeed. And when we help other people and make them feel important, we feel important too. It tells us that the seed of money is service. Bring value to others and always give more than what is expected of you. Always think well of others. This will not only make your life easier, but it will keep you in good mental health. We are all a little paranoid and often believe that others do things to annoy us, when in reality what we all want is the best for ourselves. Thinking the best of others will help us create valuable relationships and help us focus on the things that are best for us. Focus on the things that will really make us grow. Success depends on the support of other people. Care unselfishly about others. Practice listening more and talking less. It's a way to make friends and learn from other people. Chapter 10. Create the habit of action. A mediocre idea put into practice is 100% better than a great idea not applied. Don't wait for the right time because that time will never come. Start now and create the habit of doing, of undertaking, of putting yourself into action right now, and then get better and better along the way. Successful people are not those who do not have problems, but on the contrary, they are those who, in spite of the problems, get up and manage to overcome them. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. In this chapter, he emphasizes again the importance of writing down thoughts and ideas on paper, because when we are writing, our mind is focused on that thought, and we cannot write one thing while we are thinking about something else. This makes us remember things more, and makes our mind more orderly. Chapter 11. Turn your defeats into victories. We can learn from every situation, and we must learn to rescue the victories that are hidden behind every defeat, so that we can continue trying to achieve our goal, but each time with more experience. The author states that failures are only in our mind. So instead of blaming others for our bad luck, we have to take advantage, investigate our failures, and learn from them. Because it is true that we must be persistent, but if we don't learn from them, we won't be able to achieve our goals. If we don't learn from our mistakes and we don't improve our technique, persistence alone will only make us keep failing over and over again, and we will keep stumbling every time with the same stone. Chapter 12. Set goals that help you grow. The most important thing is not where you come from or where you are now. What is really important is where you want to get to. Set yourself new challenges. In this chapter you will learn how to design those goals in order to enhance your growth and find the shortest route to the realization of your dreams. Think big, but don't get overwhelmed. Focus on the next step, just the next small step you have to take. Here the author tells us that we need to invest in education and recommends that we give at least one brain-boosting book a month. And this book can definitely be one of them. Chapter 13. Think like a leader. Here you will find the 4 rules of leadership and learn how to treat the people you lead by always putting yourself in the other person's shoes, focusing on the human side of relationships, motivating and growing others. The author tells us that we should criticize in private and praise in public, always leading by example. Think what the world would be like if all people were like you. And here we finish the book summary. I hope you liked it. If so, please like and subscribe to the channel to see the next video. Thanks for watching it, and remember, smart work is the key to success.